Goodness, our class is really small today. Did everybody get scared off? See, we're going to have to present something.
Can I ask about something? Maybe today our students want to speak in Russian or Ukrainian or Spanish languages, and our translator can translate. But for this, we need change our channel from main channel to English channel.
You mean I need to?
Super.
Or all of us?
Yes, please, all students and all who will be recorded, change your channel for English channel if you do it for English.
Thank you.
Yes, it's not just for Russian, maybe Spanish students and Ukrainian too.
So are you speaking just to the interpreters?
Translators, yes, and who will be listen English channel, English language. Who will be record English channel. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is, for me, kind of a sweet and sour meeting. The sweetness that we're finishing this, and I'm so grateful to all of you for completing, however many of these courses you have completed, and that this is our last class together. So that's the sweet and sour of it for me. And today's format, we're going to do it a little differently, as you know. Today, you get to share how you would use anything from ACI 18, something that touched your heart and said, hey, I can use that in my life. And share with us either how you've already used it or how you're going to use it. And in this way, it will help each of us to see how we can use it in our lives. Right? So it's interesting, I thought about this last weekend and then and asked you all to do this. And then on Monday evening, when Geshe-la taught mixed nuts, he did exactly the same thing. And I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they said, that's when you know you have the Lama in your heart, when you have the same mind stream, right, with your Lama. And I hadn't thought about it that way, and it was really very cool. It was just exciting to me that, wow, I'm on the right track in having my students, or having, students put it into their lives and think about it personally in that way, and then to share it. So we're all on the right track. It is so cool. And without further ado, who would like to be first? Don't be shy. Someone has to take the first bite. All right, I guess I'll have to choose then. Christina, would you please share with us?
Yes, thank you. So I break the silence here for the first. Okay, and I have to say I wrote it down because I fear that my English speaking leaves me during the teaching. So I wrote something down and I read it. I hope it's okay. No?
Absolutely,
Okay.
whatever makes it easy to share.
I would like to say something about an aspect from the Master Shantideva's Bodhisattva Charyavatara, Guide to a Bodhisattva's Way of Life. It's about cause and effect and emptiness. And I would like to tell a little story around this. A few weeks ago, a friend from the German Dharma community came to me, and she heard slowly. Okay. A few weeks ago, a friend from the German Dharma community came to me, and she had heard that I have finished some ACI courses. And she asked me, but Christina, if you continue studying, aren't you afraid that bad deeds will open and unpleasant things will happen to you and you will suffer? And at first, I was a bit surprised by this question. And then I said, I can't think like that. How could something negative come from something positive? And if clean deeds show up in suffering, that is nothing compared to the amount of suffering that I and others would have to experience over countless lifetimes due to bad deeds opening. And even though it may not seem like that, I have had very hard times in this life. And sometimes I feel like I can no longer bear to see even one more person die or suffer. Yes, on the Dharma path as a human being, there is suffering, sadness, and frustration. But I know that now and afterwards, there is something so much bigger, so wonderful, that the suffering through cleansing is so tiny in comparison. The positive results are so much bigger than the suffering moments. At least that's how I feel, and that's how I have experienced it so far. And to close the circle of my little story, I would like to quote Master Shantideva, and the quote is part of course 3 of course 18, of class 3 of course 18. It says, if you feel frightened about the thing it is that creates every kind of pain, why is it then you feel any fear for the thing it is that ends all pain? End of the quote. And so I say, why should you feel frightened about coming near to the direct perception of emptiness and the solution to stop all pain and suffering for you and others? Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. A beautiful quote to pull out, and how it came up in your life and you were able to share it with somebody else, to share this point of view, obviously for someone who was scared.
Yes, she was scared, and she had a hard time, depressive episodes and so, and yes, she was scared to do more at this point, yes. And yeah, I shared what I thought, and this, yeah.
That's all we can do, is share our own experience, right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us and sharing it with her. And so you see how Christina, in her reading in class 3 of course 18, she picked up this these two little lines, and how she saw how they influenced her own life and how she could relate to them, that they're not just something to read or philosophy, but they're tools to put in our toolbox and to be able to carry around with us. And thank you, Christina, for breaking the silence and being the first person to jump in. I'm going to go back to gallery view. All right, does somebody else want to be the second person now that the silence has been broken? Elena. Please. Thank you.
Благодарю за эту возможность. Я буду говорить на русском языке, потому что у меня довольно сложный вопрос, и моего английского языка недостаточно. Я, в отличие от многих студентов этой группы, начала свое изучение ICI этой зимой. Да. Хорошо. Я начала изучение ICI-курсов этой зимой вместе с вашей группой. Это был мой самый первый курс, а ваш 17-й. Я не понимаю, как так получилось, но так получилось. И я очень добросовестно занималась и стала после этого учить первый курс, третий курс, DCI 7, DCI 1. И я читала довольно много комментариев Далай-ламы и старалась понять то, что мы изучаем. И, наверное, самое главное, что могло бы быть полезным в жизни сейчас для меня, поскольку я живу между Москвой и Севастополем. Я очень много лет так живу, ну, почти 30 лет. И это трудный период для нас сейчас. И я начала учиться для того, чтобы я смогла преодолеть в себе гнев. И я человек не гневливый. А в обычной ситуации я могу быть спокойной. Но у меня по работе очень много людей проходит через меня. Я работаю с авторскими коллективами. Я выпускаю книги. И это авторские коллективы по 50 человек. И я с ними нахожу прекрасный язык. Но когда речь заходит о той ситуации, в которой живет каждый из нас, особенно когда я перемещаюсь из Москвы в Крым, в Севастополь, в котором я живу 30 лет, в котором живет половина моей семьи, то мне почти невозможно удерживать мое сознание в покое. И я читаю занятия, заметки к занятиям, и я помню ваши цитаты, досточтимая Gyelse. Я вас очень благодарю за все уроки, за все учения, которые вы нам дали. Одна из самых мудрых для меня сейчас фраз заключается в том, что не надо переживать, если ты ничего не можешь изменить. Не надо переживать. Если ты можешь что-то изменить, бери и делай. Но это фраза, на которой меня воспитывал мой отец. Мне 56 лет, папа уже нет со мной, но он всегда добавлял третью фразу. И дай мне мудрость одно от другого. Ну, да, хорошо, Наташенька, я буду еще медленнее. Да, ну, вы перевели то, что не могу отличить одно от другого. И вот именно это сейчас является очень сложным. Я раздумываю об этом часто. Я стараюсь медитировать. Потому что в наличии боевых действий, в наличии такой сложной ситуации с нашими братьями, как мы всегда считали Украину братьями, мы продолжаем так их считать. Мы продолжаем страшно переживать эту трагедию. И мы не понимаем, я не понимаю, что я могу изменить, а что нет. И сложная для меня очень ситуация, потому что мне иногда кажется, что я никуда не продвинулась. Хотя я так много занимаюсь, но бороться с гневом трудно. и продвигаться трудно. И мы иногда все впадаем в ярость, и остановить ее трудно. Вот мне хотелось поделиться такой ситуацией. Я знаю, что у нас много на курсах, нас, на начальных курсах нас почти пополам. Курсы идут на русском, у нас половина россиян, половина украинцев. Мы это знаем. Мы знаем, что наши мужья, братья и соседи стоят друг напротив друга на передовой. И мы стараемся дома молиться друг за друга. Ну, и все равно это непросто. Поэтому я хочу поддержать своих сокурсников, своих друзей. У меня много друзей в Украине, еще больше друзей в России. И хочется поддержать всех, и хочется научиться этой мудрости, когда мы можем что-то изменить и когда не можем. Мне хотелось бы научиться это различать. Я вас благодарю.
Thank you, Elena. Yeah, it's a very hard situation, very difficult situation, and we can do something about it. And of course, worrying, as you said, is not going to help. What we can do is to stop the anger in our own lives, stop how we separate people in our own lives, stop the violence in our own lives to others and to ourselves. And these are the seeds to plant. This is what we can take up. And we can give up our anger, our violence, our speaking bad of some and good of others, and dividing people that way. And it's hard. It's hard. So, and it's not just you who are seeing this. All of us are seeing it. We're all in the world, and now we're seeing it flare up in Israel and Palestine. Just again. So we have to work on our own hearts and making them more loving and kind. And I will, be totally honest. There are people I get frustrated with, and I'll talk bad about them. And that's part of the problem. I am part of the problem. And it's because I don't understand that what is out here that I'm seeing is coming from me. So keep studying, keep practicing, and do tonglen, open your heart and pray, and send all our brothers and sisters the healing and the light and the peace that they need. And this helps to open our own hearts. Thank you so much.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Можно я?
Я бы попросил дорогого учителя поставить слово мне, поскольку я из Западной Украины. Зовут меня Владимир.
Sorry, my name is Vladimir. I'm from West Ukraine. I would like to ask question. Yes, вас хорошо. Yes. I imagine I live in Lvov in West Ukraine, in the country that is in very difficult situation. But I think that a whole world in a very difficult situation. And continuing this theme that Elena touched, I would like to say the following. To continue this quote by Master Shantidev, if you can change something, change. If you cannot change, then don't get upset. At the same time, do I speak slowly? Yes, perfect. For translation. Yeah, I would like to continue with using this quote. If I don't create myself, I cannot create something else in my life. If you cannot create yourself, you cannot create anything else. It's difficult because I studied ACI from 2014. I finished all the courses, including the 18 course. And I'm extremely grateful to you because you giving me the opportunity. You giving me direct transmission of this wisdom because my teacher, Peter Myrtle, I studied with him. But it happened that in the first direct transmission, I wasn't available to be there. But then now you're giving me this opportunity to receive this wisdom. And because of you, I'm getting these teachings and wisdom. And you became my teacher for this course. I would like to, I will tell a little bit the story. Perhaps you know my daughter, whose name is Yulia. She was in Arizona. Right now, she lives in Vancouver, and I visited her in 2014. And she told me, sorry, I'm a little bit derailed from my question, but I'd like to share my story. And she said that the team of Geshe would be in Kiev. And I said, so what? But you don't know, you would see him in person, you will learn his teaching. And you know, I am in charge of a huge manufacturing, big company. And back then, for me, when I heard this, when I came to Vancouver, I thought about Olympics. And so I wasn't understanding how it's related to philosophy. But when in the summer 2014, she called me and she said that, okay, I booked the hotel for you and please go to Kiev and meet with Geshe. But you know, from Lvov, it's not the same city than Kiev. And I thought, okay, so I sent my daughter to Canada in some kind of sect and to study something. And now I have to fly to Kiev to meet someone who I have no idea what this is about, but I still went to Kiev. I was sitting in the room, in the conference room, and I thought, okay, so I thought that someone's going to give me a call, and I used it as an excuse to leave this conference, to leave this place. But the more I listened to Geshe, then my youth, my years of school came back to my memory because my grandmother raised me. She was Catholic, she was Polish. And all these teachings, everything that she passed to me, it's all started coming back to me. And of course, I didn't use this excuse. I spent a week with Geshe. I met him in person, but at the end, I met him in personally because at the end of a class, I went and introduced myself. And then, okay, and sometimes he even quoted that the father of Yulia will help me right now to do something. And you know, when I started to study the course ACI 4 in 2014, but I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand anything about bodhisattvas, bodhicitta, and all these teachings, and I couldn't understand. And then I put everything aside and started from the first course to understand everything thoroughly. I lost him a little bit, sorry. And today I finished 18 courses. Okay. So I don't recommend anyone to study ACI courses really fast. This is not what I suggest.
Идите как слово. Пока вы не поймете, не идите
Please
дальше.
go slow. Until you don't understand everything, you can go further. Or it's not like I can say, oh, I finished the first, second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh. It doesn't mean anything to me. I have this habit. If I don't understand something, I put my slippers and I run to understand this. It's an expression. And so until I'm not understand the thing that I've read, I cannot move forward. But that's my method. That's my approach. So what I'm trying to say, you don't need the speed and ACI. You just need to understand how you change yourself. How do you change in yourself so the world around you is changing? There is no other way or approach or method to change the world. So please be kind for which your awareness, your habits. Please study the 9th course, Vinaya, the discipline. It's the most important work of Buddha about moral and ethics. So because I spent all my courses slowly, you know, dear teachers, I got scared. All this, the course 8 that I started to study about the hell, I started to get really scared. What if it's true? So for all my bad deeds, I would have to take responsibility. It was really impressed. They say it really impressed, made a huge impact on me about death lives. But Geshe-la is such a wise person. Right after the course 8, he started the 9th course about ethics and morals.
И вот 8 и 9 курс для меня стали серьезным.
So the 8 and course 9 made a huge impact on me and made it very important in my part of learning ACI. And again, please don't get that fast. Don't run after time. Don't run that everyone else finished 18 courses and have all the certificates. It doesn't mean anything. I see a lot of people. So please be kind. Please study ACI very carefully. And please remember, I'll try to repeat again. You can't, without changing yourself, you can't change anything. Every goal you have,
Надо начинать свою программу достижения цели с первого вопроса. Что я сделаю с собой?
every goal you have to ask the question, what can I change in myself to reach this goal? Dear teacher, thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful to you that you gave me this opportunity to study ACI in direct transmission. I'm extremely grateful. And I guess this is how it's supposed to happen. Such a wise and experienced teacher, I'm getting these teachings. And I'm grateful to all students. The peace between our countries will be restored. I believe in this because I'm really firm about one thing. Please remember this. Happiness in family, in work, between countries, impossible if you can communicate between each other. Please remember the golden rule, to communicate and find compromise between each other. And I really hope that this wisdom will prevail and people will learn how to communicate with each other. Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you for your wisdom. and sharing your personal experience of traveling this path of the ACI courses. And continuing to advise us to go slow, because it doesn't help if we just are trying to finish a course for the sake of finishing a course and not putting it into our lives, because that is the most important thing. So thank you so much for doing that in your own life and being such an example for us. Yeah. I'm happy to have you here. Thank you so much. We will bring peace to this world. It has to happen. Maybe not as immediately as we wanted to, because there's a lot to change in ourselves. So, thank you. David, how about you?
Sure. Thank you so much, Venerable Gyelse. I think for me there have been two things that really were helpful to me in this course. I mean, more than two, but two that immediately come to mind. One of them, I think, is that for me, I really work on patience a lot. That's my big thing that I have to work on. And I've thought a lot about the verses from Master Shantideva about not getting upset. And I've been thinking about that for years, and it's been really helpful to me. But one thing that you said in the class that I think I missed before was kind of like the outside circle, right? Which is, one circle is not getting upset, which is, when we start to get angry. But then you showed outside that circle is when you start to lose your joy. And I never really thought about that before. I think I was always trying, okay, you're getting upset, don't get upset. But I never really think or to notice when I'm losing my joy. And that really has helped me so much to start paying attention to that. Because for one thing, it's reminding me that I should be joyful, which I don't even think about, that, as much as I should. But it really has helped me with, I think, with patience, to have that as the first, noticing that as the first level before I even, start to feel upset about something. So it kind of is like that, another, more protection. And the other thing that...
Before you go on, David, how have you used it?
I think just as an awareness thing, just maybe I'll be, working on something and starting to get tired and starting to, get into, that would be my first, place where I might start to get, upset, or something's not, happening or working the way that I want it to. And then just, I think, I don't know, I was working on my computer, a week or two ago, and then I just thought, I was like, wait a minute, I was like, I'm not being joyful, and I it's just, for me, it was just a big thing to even think about that, because I think sometimes for me, sometimes I'm just focused on staying calm, like, okay, just like calm down, stay calm, just breathe, but that's like a different level of like, even if you're staying calm, am I happy? Am I, that if maybe I'm trying to do something that's going to help people, that's like a totally different level than just like, okay, stay calm, you know. And to me, that's been very helpful. Yeah.
Was there something else you wanted to add?
Well, the other thing I think was we've talked a lot about you know, the not having a self, the you know, the lack of a truly existing self. And that I think also has been something that has been really helpful for me. If you know, that just since we've been taking the course, if I'm in a situation where I feel like someone is doing something that hurts me or criticizing me, just to come to mind, okay, where's the me that they're hurting, right? Is it my arm, my thought, my feeling, you know? And I think really going through that has, you know, just that looking and seeing, okay, where is that self, has really helped me to like cut through a lot of those feelings and say, you know, okay, I'm not gonna get caught up in that. I don't need to, you know, I don't need to put my energy into, you know, defending something that doesn't even really exist. So, yeah.
That's a huge step. You know, even say, okay, that person's coming from me, but to realize that there isn't even a me that anything is coming from other than our perception forced on us by our seeds. That is very cool. Very cool. I think that's also one we can all think about some more and put into our life. Wait a minute, where's the me that's even creating this person? And that doesn't mean, of course, that they're not there. You always have to remember that. Right? We're not nihilistic. Thank you. Yeah. Shalimar had her hand up.
Hello, can you hear
Hi.
me?
You could be a little louder.
Okay, it might be my mic. Let me
That's better.
see. Okay, it's not letting me use my headset, so it's coming from my camera. Thank you for everything and this review. I wasn't going to share, but I'm going to share, but I'll do it anyways. I almost died a couple of times before I ever met these teachings. And to keep it simple, one of them, I was very ill and my organs started to fail. And in my final moments, I realized that all of the pain and the sickness and the reason why I was there dying all came from the way I treated other people. And I know that seems strange, at least it does to everybody else in my world, except for in the Sangha now. And I look at it like the airplane story that Geshe Michael told in The Karma of Love, where you experience something very weird and you might have a realization, but it goes away when things get normal. when I realized that I didn't have to be angry at anyone, that I could put my life on the line for someone else, because when you're in the moment of facing your death, you realize that it doesn't matter if it's that moment or if it was 10 years prior to, or if it was going to be another 10 years later, that moment was still going to come. And it's not worth any of the anger. It's not worth any of the not helping someone else because you think something will be taken from you if you do. None of that is worth it. Like, I guess basically what I'm saying is all of the reasons why we're here, all of the 84,000 mental afflictions, to me, in the end, it's not worth it. It is never worth one opportunity to try to get it right. No matter how many times you may fail, no matter how many times you might not understand what you're learning, if you can just one time prove to yourself now, before you have to almost die like me, that everything you're doing now is worth it. And to me, it's right. And I think it's powerful to go through an experience and then beg to have another chance. I didn't know who I was begging in that moment. It's like, please just give me another chance. And I promise I'll treat everyone good, and I'll apologize to everyone that I'm mad at. And I'll forgive everyone, and I'll do it right. And that was my wish. And I just feel like it was like answered. And then one day I just had a lot of hate in my heart. And I remember asking, like, what do I have to do to just get rid of this pain, this resentment? And I ended up at 3 joules. And ever since then, every class I ended up in ACI 9. And it was the right class to start with for me. And ever since then, and then I went through these classes, and it was really hard, but never once did I doubt one thing that was being said, because I felt it. And then we got to logic. And this is the important part, is not everybody gets to have these experiences or to create faith, and ride with that. When my teachers ask me to do something, or if they tell me to do something, I never question it because I have no doubt. But that's not easy for everyone. So when you get to logic, I just think it's so important to really go back and learn ACI 4, and this was ACI 13 for logic. And for not even for yourself as much as to help explain it to other people, to help be able to teach and to help know. I learned not to judge there. And I learned that logic fills in like the gaps, like if you don't have the faith, logic can actually be a chariot that helps carry you there. And that's what made me want to teach. I think the way that this course will help me teach moving forward is, Venerable Gyelse, you did just an amazing job of like reviewing the hardest courses for me. And I never thought that I would ever want or be able to really try to even be a teacher assistant for an ACI course. But the way that you were able to beautifully explain these hard topics was never out of line with my heart. And, it just was so easy to understand. So thank you for that. And I just hope that I can teach others, you know, in the future as I keep learning and practicing in this way. And because we've met, you know, today, and I've met all of you, I have no doubt that, you know, I will, because you're all just like this beautiful reflection of my heart. The last thing I would like to say is I feel so blessed to study with you all and to see you all. Here in America, I just grew up in a small town in Ohio with a very small, closed mind. And I never used to think about any other place. And whatever I heard about on the news is what I believed to be true. And ever since I started attending these courses with all of these beautiful people, angels from all over the world, I see this layer of conflict, but then I see this layer every day of like love. You know, so it's like for me to see that, you know, from coming from not being able to empathize, sympathize, understand it all, to being here with you today and like feeling my heart burst open is like such a great gift. So thank you for letting me cry all over this review. Usually the things that I want to say never are, you know, like they're never planned and quite emotional, but very important class. I am going to go with my camera off because my family is running around. And I don't want to be a distraction, but thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalimar, for sharing your very personal story and a very intense experience that opened you to another way of being, and then finding a way to integrate that and finding the 3 jewels in New York City. And don't worry about teaching, you know, I would say, as long as you're practicing and studying, and practicing is a big part of it, you integrate these teachings, and then you can teach them in a more coherent way because you've worked on making them understandable to yourself. Especially something like ACI 13. That was a difficult course for me. As I said at the beginning, you know, I did it 3 times, that course. And then I've taught it several times. And the first time I taught it, I just felt like I was repeating back what I had been taught. But somehow it gets integrated and you can use the tools more, and as it becomes integrated, hopefully, you know, you can share it in a much more digestible way than just reading syllogisms. Thank you so much for opening your heart to all of us. Yeah. So is there anybody else who would like to share with us how they've used these teachings, or how you're going to use these teachings? Looks like
Можно
Rinchi,
я?
maybe?
Меня слышно? Да.
Ринчин хочет задать вопрос, да.
Я не слышу. Здравствуйте, досточтимая Gyelse.
Good day, Venerable Gyelse.
Здравствуйте все.
Good day to everyone.
Я очень благодарна вам
I'm
за
super grateful that
обзорные курсы вместе с
I
вами.
studied the
Я
review
делала
courses with
домашнюю
you,
работу.
and when I did my
У
homework
меня по 14-му курсу у меня
on
возник
course
вопрос.
14, I had a question, and I thought that the last class of this course
будет возможность
I had a chance to answer this question, so I wrote this down. Ngambhupa said, don't think about anything, just about your Lama. It's a key to transform your consciousness and his consciousness in one. And I didn't have a time to answer this question, but you did answer this question at the beginning of this class. Thank you so much. After this course, I have two moments, two things that I would like to share. Very important for me. The first is, it's about feelings. That feelings, when we see the feelings like self-existent, it's like a spiral, and we put those feelings on some person or situation, and we think that this person forced us to get upset. We put those feelings on this person, and this spiral doesn't allow us to think clearly and make actions clearly. Only when we get up, we can clear think and take actions. And if we can divide feelings and thoughts from the person or situation, I think it's much easier to deal with the situation. If I take the circumstances and divide, put aside the feelings and see what is really happening in this situation. So usually there's nothing there, nothing that I can really upset me, but those feelings that force me to have this mental affliction, to replant those mental seeds of mental afflictions. And this way, I think for me, if I can divide, I can feelings, a situation, a person, then it's easy for me to deal with the situation and to leave the situation. This is about self-existent feelings. For me, it was very important. I think that those self-existent feelings always holding me back. And if I can do something with that, it will be much easier for me. And the second moment is I would like to work on criticizing other people. Sometimes those people walk on the street and my mind tells me this person's such and this person is such, and actions of people, I criticize these actions. And when I feel that they don't do something not right, maybe not in the right way, and then I thought, why do I criticize them? I have a lot of things to do. Why do I have to think about it? And I understood that behind this criticism is my pride, because my ego knows how I should do, how I'm supposed to look, how I'm supposed to say things. And this ego, it manipulates me, controls this. And then I understand that pride, it's an extremely important obstacle. And if I work on my pride, then I will criticize less people, and then I have no need to criticize other people or situation or anything. Thank you so much, Gyelse, for your wisdom and knowledge, for this direct transmission of teachings, and for answering my questions, and also answering questions that we had in our mind. We didn't even ask, but you did answer them.
And maybe, Rinchen, you can think about what David shared with us today about where's the me who's the critic? Where's the me who's feeling these feelings? And go down, it's like the onion skin, go down one more level. Thank you for sharing with us. Yeah. This feels like a testimonial or something. Thank Thank you. They're all tools to share with each other, right? Of how we can put these beautiful gems that have been passed down to us over the centuries into our own lives, how we can use them. I think we have time for one more. Katrin has her hand raised.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to say thank you to all the group, and you're amazing guys. You are so supportive and so strong. I'm very happy to learn, study with you. And I'm very grateful to Gyelse. And for me, it's a lot of support during hard times when we meet each other once a week, and I can get minimum one great idea every weekend. So yeah, I do have a lot of wonderful ideas from this course, but the main probably I would say was a half of glass of water. So I've heard this idea for, I don't know, from the day I was born, I guess. And I didn't see that this is the huge problem for me. So I worked with it and I thought, it's okay, no problem now, but no. And I realized after the last class where you described this half of glass, and I realized that I get angry the most of the cases only because I want to have full glass of water, and it's half full, so it's empty. And I was angry at myself, at others, at situations, everything, because I wanted to be full. And I don't know why they don't teach children at school that this is our conditions, this is the world, this life is just like that. Nobody tell me that. And only in ACI courses I've heard that this is human conditions. Always be unhappy because we never have everything we want, because we always want more. And it's great to just know that this is a human condition. It's okay. And when I focused on half of empty glass, I was angry and I was annoyed. And when I tried to keep my focus on half, which is full, I realized that there is something deeper under that, because if something happens, I cannot, it's not enough for me to grasp, to catch, because it's too little. And I went deeper and I found out that it should be based on emptiness and on my pride. I wanted to be this way. I wanted to be full glass. So it focused, when I focused on the half full glass, I realized that it based on my pride, on how I want it to be. And it based on emptiness. And if I realized emptiness at that moment, that it disappeared. And I don't get angry because it's empty of being full or empty glass. So I'm very grateful for this, because this time I was able to hear this idea. I've heard it a lot, and this was the first time when I was really hearing, I've heard it. and I got it, I guess. Thank you very much for all the teachings and for this. Now I can work on it. Thank you.
Thank you. I love that we are all have different pieces of these teachings, right? That have touched us and that we can share with each other. Thank you, Kajan, for sharing the half full glass with us. Yeah. Andrzej?
Good day. Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. I'm grateful to you and thank you to and every person in this class and for this opportunity to study and to practice and to learn this course. I didn't finish all courses, but I will be very short, but I'm extremely helpful. Okay, what really was helpful to me is the
событий, которые происходят. Да, да. Я понял, как практиковать.
Okay, finally I understood how to practice the joyful effort. I practiced the perfection of patience when the war started in Ukraine. And now I understand that perfection of joyful effort will help me to create the word and peace. I practice more deeply Lojong, and the 7 steps practice to transform the problem as a path to enlightenment. For me, extremely Lojong opened its depthness to me, this practice. And because I'm a teacher at school for kids. So then the principle, what you plant, then it's growing, you harness. I transfer these teachings directly to them. And from these teachings, I share every time what action would bring which results. What is the cause and what is the result? And I actually dedicated a poem to you. I would like to gift it to you and to offer to you, in which I also open for myself that it's important not how everything is happening, but it's important to understand why it's happening. And these gave me the answer why it's important to serve to everyone. And if you allow me, I would like to read this poem that I dedicate to you. I'm physics of math teacher, teaching kids how everything works in the world. And in the classroom, I am a mentor. I keep things in order to make them easy to learn. The world is striving, learning everything through how. How can I earn money? How can I become younger? Spending my life to do this that is a result of
что-то
accumulating
заболеть,
something to get sick and die.
но много добрых дел,
But many good
служение
deeds,
всему всегда
serving to all and always,
создала добродетель
created
для меня.
a virtue for me.
Учеником
I'm a
учения
student of
ACI
ACI course
Gyelse
taught by Geshe-la.
учусь
I'm learning from a vulnerable Gyelse to leave the world in love.
внимаю опыт,
I'm
поучусь
taking the
пойти
wisdom
как мастера.
like a master.
И почему мы здесь,
And why we're here,
и как достигнуть счастья
and how to achieve
навечно.
happiness forever.
Так мастер Шантидева
Master
учит не злиться
Shantideva teaches
никогда
us not to get angry ever
и поясняет, как
and
жить
explain how
без
to live
радости,
with joyful effort,
весь мир любя.
loving the whole world.
Ведь если можешь что-то сделать,
And if you can do
печалиться
something,
зачем?
why do you get upset?
А если ничего не
And if you
можешь,
can't do anything,
печалью не поможешь.
your upsetness won't help you.
Но мало слышать слова
It is-
мудрости и понимать,
It's not enough just to hear the words of wisdom
что
and to
когда мы
understand.
учим жить,
It's necessary to live it,
привычки изменив, практиковать.
changing habits and practice.
Мы, затаив дыхание,
We
слушаем,
hold our
как это
breath and
применять,
listen how to apply it,
чтоб помнить
to remember
слова учителей,
the words of
и
teachers
проверять.
that we need to check as well.
Услышьте все,
Here it is all,
счастье
the
мира
happiness of the
от
world
желания счастья другим.
from desire of happiness to others,
Все горе мира
and all the grief in the
желание
world
счастья только себе.
wanting to be happy just for yourself.
Так поступают
This
мудрые
is
люди,
how wise
чтобы
people
стать Буддой,
become
святым.
Buddha, Jesus, and Saint.
Увидьте разницу, дети
See
мира,
the difference, children of the world,
когда даешь,
when you
когда
do
делаешь, что было приятно
that
только
only will
тебе.
be pleasing to yourself.
На курсах изучаем
In the
дебаты,
courses, we study debate
чтоб верно мудрость познавать.
to know wisdom faithfully.
В дебатах нет неправых и
There is no
невиновных.
wrong or guilty in debate.
В дебатах мирно находим
In debates,
и
we
учимся
find the
не
truth
драться и
peacefully
не
and
воевать.
learn not to resent or fight.
Есть курс для сердца,
There is a course for the heart
чтобы его для мира открывать.
to discover for yourself in the world.
Погонщики Яков могли
The drivers of
мудрое
peasant
слово с
could
собою
carry
носить.
this wise word with them.
Тонглен с утра,
Don't in the morning
день как бриллиант,
and every day like a
действительно нас
diamond is priceless to us.
и даже уходя из
And even as we
мира,
leave the world,
мы можем без
we
страданий
can move without suffering,
поля перенестись.
the clean fields.
Мы учимся буквально и
We learn
буквально
to literally
слово
or
понимать.
figuratively understand words,
Что имеет в виду учитель,
what the teacher means,
как нам верно поступать.
and how to do it right.
И я изучаю,
And I
чтобы
study
вы это
that
прекрасно
all
знать,
may know this wisdom,
чтобы каждое
that
существо
every
стало
being
Буддой
becomes a
и
Buddha,
не могло
I will never suffer again.
Благодарю вас, досточтимая
Thank you so
Gyelse,
much,
и все
Venerable
вы, кто
Gyelse,
меня
and
слушает.
everyone who
Благодарю.
listened to me. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you for your wisdom and your poem.
Спасибо.
I do have one question. How do you use joyful effort now differently than you did before? Because you said that really touched you this time.
Благодарю за вопрос, досточтимая Gyelse.
Thank you so much for the question, Venerable Gyelse.
Сейчас
Today,
радостью, своей
with
улыбкой,
effort, my just
делюсь
effort, with my smile,
окружающими вокруг
I
меня людьми.
share the smile with people around me.
Я,
I,
когда делаю добрые дела
when I do good deeds
в школе,
in school,
показывая предмет,
showing like the subject we study,
ставлю хорошие оценки,
when I mark the
когда
work of
помогаю
students,
другим,
when I help others,
я всегда дополняю
I'm always
это теплыми словами,
add a good, kind
восхищением
words,
человеком,
admiring the people,
радостным своим собственным
and with
состоянием,
joy in my present situation, my present state of
мне
joyful.
приятно видеть,
And I'm really happy to see
даже дети
that
в школе
even children in
это
school,
настолько чувствуют,
they feel it so much
что
that
когда я заболел,
when I got sick,
после этого они
after
все
they
бросились
all
меня обнимать.
start giving me hugs. When I get back to school and I get better, they all run to me and give me hugs.
И мне очень приятно,
And I'm
что
so
эти
happy
усилия в
that
радости
joyful
создают
efforts
вокруг
create
веру в мир,
a faith in the world, in the wisdom and love.
Lovely, yeah.
благодарю.
So this is how we can take joyful effort into everything we do. Yeah, thank you so much. Let's take an 8-minute break. Come back at 20 minutes after the hour, and then we'll do question and answers. And if we don't have too many, I have something else to share with you. So come back in 20 minutes after the hour. Thank you everyone so much for opening your hearts and feeling safe to do that in this small group we have here. And sharing your wisdom and how you are using these teachings in your life. So see you back here in 7 minutes now. Welcome back. Hope you had a good little stretch and break. Anna, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Hello. No, I don't have a question. I just want to share some ideas about ACI 18.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for teaching. I prepare a presentation about anger, but maybe we don't have time for this. I will just put it in chat, and if somebody want, you can see it.
How long is your presentation?
Oh, it's long, 6 slides, I think. I was working on it. Yeah.
But how many minutes?
I don't know. It's something like part of what to do with anger, how anger appears in our lives, what to do, steps of anger, and what to do, advices from Master Shantideva, Bodhisattva Charyavatara.
Can you share with us what you personally do with anger as well?
Yes, I want to share it because it's really my topic. For me, anger, it's like Mississippi River, it just covers, and that's all. What I practice, first of all, I try to catch my mind just in the first moment when the anger starts, when I feel that I lose balance in my emotions. For me, it's really difficult, but I try to use all my mind, my skills, grandpa session. If I speak too fast, please tell me. Yeah. To catch my mind and stop the anger in my life. I think that anger is the reason of main problems in our life. So I try to work with this topic and try to stop anger from me. And also I want to share that my favorite topic, of course, is ACI 15, Kendrup, Yondrup, and Shen Wang, yeah. Because I still in process of cooking it. I try to understand where is the border between label and object, and I didn't find it, but I'm in process. And I want to say big thank you for this course. It was very interesting for me. Every weekend with you and all our team and participants. It was very exciting and interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can you give us one example of how you have been able to stop your anger?
Maybe the most problematic object for me, it's my mom. Because she knows me so well. She could push every buttons in my mind, in my weak places, because she's my mom. And when I see that she try to find out some stories which are hurting me, which hurt me, I just try to say something like, "Mom, I love you very much, but we will talk about this later." And it's maybe it's not stops the conflict in root, but it helps me to take some time, and sometimes she really forgets about her thoughts or what she wanted to tell me, or she made me to do. So that's my method. To freeze like a piece of wood, like Master Shantideva gave an us.
To be like a bump on the log.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for, again, sharing how, how it affects you personally and what you do personally to work with it. Because we can always share in different ways what the teachings tell us. To be able, though, to talk from our own personal experience, heart to heart, is what will help others. Our own experiences. So thank you for that. Yes, mothers and significant others, our partners, our children, they are the ones who know us the best and they point out to us where we're stuck, right? What we have to work on. And we generally don't want to see that or hear it or look at it. And so it's a big thing. So I try to think of them as being angels who are trying to show me what I need to work on. And that doesn't mean I didn't ever get upset at my mother. They give us this incredible opportunity to work on our minds and our hearts more than anybody else does. So you're in good hands. Natasha.
Thank you for opportunity. I'd like to share something that we hear so often, but when we did the review of ACI 13, which I fear to finish, I'm scared of this course completely. Like, I think it's going to be my last course. I'm super, super scared. So one thing I'd like to share, and for me, it was a wake-up call. It's about the self-existing objects. So I do remember, like, when there was a situation, a person who would get me upset.
Natasha, hold on. The Ukrainian channel, there's no sound. They'd like you to start at the beginning.
From the beginning, okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Ukrainian channel, can you say if you hear me now? We're creating peace, we're connecting with each other. Please. Please, you hear me? Yes, you just have to go to English channel. Yeah. Yes, perfect. Thank you. I'll start from the beginning very slowly. One thing that touched me in this course, it was a review of 13 course, which I did not finish. And it's a very complicated course because I did translate this course into Russian. And because it's so complicated, I'm afraid of even touching this course. But it's about self-existent nature. When there is a difficult situation, or maybe a person who irritates me, I used to say to myself, that's my seeds, you created this person, that's your seeds. And I would go in my mind to remember, what did I plant in the past? Like, I would try to go to the cause, like, what did I do this to create this person, this situation? And sometimes it helped and sometimes it did not help. But this time, what really, I don't know, maybe it's very simple, but to me, it's kind of like woke me up. I realized that I see them self-existently. I'm like, I always think about, oh, it's out there. Yes, you created. Yes, that's your seed, but it's out there somewhere. And I think this was my problem. I'm thinking of person or situation out there. I do know that I created them. I believe it, but I don't fully understand emptiness, thinking it's out there. And when now I thinking, you think of them as self-existing out there, they're not out there, they're here, coming from you, then it calms me down. I don't know how to explain this miracle process. It calms me down and saying, I don't know, maybe thinking of Kuntax or Kunshi, like this is all my world and I'm just carrying this, but reminding myself the two pieces of emptiness that yes, I created, but also they're not out there, they're here, calms me down. So, oh yeah, it kind of helps me to totally grasp that it's in me. It's me, really. It's not just there, it's just me too. It's kind of like continuation of me. There is no border between me and that person or the situation. It's all me, one. And then it calms me down because it gives me a bigger sense of personal responsibility. Yes, it's not just to believe it, I feel it. So, and then another thing, one moment, since Anna talked about mom, I do also have amazing, absolutely unbelievably beautiful mom, which I adore, who I adore, but she also pushes my buttons of like any mom. And then in this course, it's like Katrin was talking about glass that is half empty and half full. You know, we hear so many things. I always hear like these people are angels, and it drives me nuts. It drives me crazy when I hear like, this is your angel. And this person irritates me. I cannot see for the love of God, his person as my angel. I'm like, I'm irritated even more. So I was thinking and sitting and talking to myself and asking, so what do I do? I can't see them angels. And the same thing you say, Venerable Gyelse, in this course, I don't remember which class, and it's something is shifted in me, and I say, okay, don't look at them as angels, look at them as diamonds. They are your raw diamonds, and you're just gonna polish. And then here are your different diamonds. They have different shapes and different colors and different state of roughness. And then with this one, you have to polish patience. With this one, you have to polish anger. With this one, so if I don't think of them as angels and not as pearls, because I love pearls, but I don't, I'm ignorant towards diamonds. But if I look at them as my rough diamonds, this is the diamond I have to polish. And I have so many, I'm carrying them, so many. Let's just start with one today. There's my tool, there's my instrument. I'll polish you this way and polish. It makes me happy. It makes me think of a diamond cutter. I'm kind of like a diamond cutter of my rough diamonds. I can't call them angel yet. I'm not there, but at least I can think of myself as a diamond cutter of my rough diamonds. I'm not sure if it makes sense. Thank you for opportunity to share this.
Yes, it makes sense. And know too that those are not self-existent rough diamonds out there. It's, it's that mind only thing. It comes from the same seed, right? The thing out here and you projecting. Yeah, very cool. And I'm glad that it gives you a way to work with your getting excited about it, and not excited in a positive way, but getting excited about these conflicts with people, and also your impatience with yourself. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you. I can't read the name of the person who has their hand up because it's in Cyrillic.
Добрый день. Да, меня зовут Виктория. Дорогая Gyelse, я благодарю вас за...
Hello, dear Gyelse. My name is Victoria. I'm very grateful for these two courses. I just listen with you. This is the second time I listen course 18. I didn't finish all of them, even heard them, but I would like to thank you for answering questions which I didn't ask yet, but I was so happy I came to your classes with my headache, and one time the class started and my headache just disappeared. And another time you were talking, my head is very, I have a headache, strong, but you looked at me and you're looking at us and say, you need to finish 18 ACI courses. As minimum, you stop your headache. And I said, wow, she's talking to me. This is the reason why I should finish 18 ACI courses, to don't have headache. And now I'd like to ask a question which is disturbing me for a while. I used to have a difficult situation with my son. He was angry very much, hurt other people, and I decided it was course 14 starting, and I've listened it. I didn't finish it, but I listened it. And now, one more time, we have course 14 here also. And I catch myself that I get used to open my heart for those people who I meet in my life. And the last time I recognized that I'm a doctor. And for my patients, I do whatever I can. I'm doing ultrasound, I'm diagnosed, but I have a therapy knowledge, and I tell them how to improve their life. I teach them about pen. I taught about 10 people a pen, about 10 people. So my question is about a different thing. I understand that our goal is to open our hearts and serve others. But I catch myself that I don't know the balance. It seems like I went too much to another side. I give a lot of energy at my work, and at home I do have some things to do, but I don't have enough strength to do my personal practice. And could you tell me what should I do more to keep this balance between improve my bodhicitta and love for others and my personal practice, I would say, and my success in other relations? It seems like it's separated and I lose my balance. Where should I look? Thank you very much.
I think one of the very important things to bring with you to everything you do, which can support having a balance, is joyful effort. Because in my own personal experience, if I am doing something with joyful effort, I have more energy. If I'm not doing it with joyful effort, then I don't have the energy. Because there's some kind of resistance. Like I could say, yesterday, I got up. I hate getting up early in the morning. It doesn't work for me. So getting up to teach at 6 o'clock in the morning is really a struggle for me because I don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But yesterday, I was like, I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock so I can go meditate with Geshe Michael and then have a class with him. Joyfully, I woke up before the alarm even rang. And I went the whole day until, I don't know, 10 or 11 o'clock yesterday. And I think I had that energy because of that joyful effort. I joyfully got up. It wasn't like, oh, I got to get up to teach at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like, no, I want to do this, right? So bringing that joyful effort in, it changes how we relate to time and energy. And then we have time and energy to do our practice. Also, I would say, integrate your practice with your work. They are not separate. Just like a mother's practice is her child or her relationship. Same with a father. A family is your practice. They are your teachers. So if you can also look at your patients as being your teachers, they're teaching you how to be a better doctor. And use that as your practice. And at the end of the evening, do your coffee meditation. Well, not coffee, but, even before you fall asleep, think about all of the good things you did in the day and rejoice in them. How all the people that you helped. And those seeds will grow and also fill you up. It kind of gets back to joyful effort again. It's right in the middle there of the 6 perfections, right? Don't beat yourself up if you're not meditating every day or studying every day. Make little effort, do it for 10 minutes. For me, if I don't do it first thing in the morning, forget it. I won't do it later in the day. I just know myself. And there are some mornings when I'm like up and out of the house, going to do whatever I'm going to do, and I haven't meditated for the day. I can say, when I do, my day is always better. Even if it's just for a few minutes. To bring the energy in, to open my heart to what will come during the day, who I want to be during the day. And then with your son, who do you want to be with him? And that can help him deal with his anger, because obviously he's hurting inside if he's angry. And what is hurting him? He may not, I don't know how old he is, but he may not even know. if you can bring your mother and doctor to him and help him get it, find out what is hurting him, even if it happens to be you, then you can help heal his heart too. Thank you for the question. I hope it answered some of your questions. It's helpful. Thank you.
Thank you
Vika.
so much, dear Gyelse.
Thank you, Vika. Okay. Any more?
Just so we have a little like offering to make, but I know you also wanted to share something. Just let me know when it's a good time to do.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to share with you, if we had time, was the last chapter, the poem from the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. And it's the dedication of the power of good deeds. But it's a long poem. It's a very long poem. So I thought to just read a few verses, because I think there's like 50, almost 60 verses, right? To just bring us back to what being a bodhisattva is. And how we can take Master Shantideva's teachings into the world. So I'll read you a few verses and then I'll stop and leave you time for your presentation. And thank you all so much. Okay. Thus have I completed writing a guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. And I pray that by this goodness, every living being may take up this life. By the power of this good deed too, may any single living creature, in sickness or in pain, of body or of mind, in any corner of this universe, be thrown into a sea of bliss. And for as long as they may wander in the circle of suffering, may they never lose this bliss. May every one of them one day, may every one of them one day reach the bliss beyond all other and stay there, never ending. I don't know how many realms of hell there are hidden in our world, but by this power, may every person trapped in one instead find joy in the joy of the heaven of joy. May those who freeze in the cold of hell be covered in warmth. May infinite showers of gentle rain fall from vast bodhisattva clouds to cool the searing pain of those who live there in the fire. May the forest of falling leaves of knives turn for those who live there into a pleasure grove of shady bowers. May the daggers of the trunks of the trees of Shalmali sprout as the wish-giving tree instead. May the caverns of hell suddenly echo forth with the sweet song of the dove and nightingale, ruby-throated sparrow, graceful swans, birds of every kind, drawn to the gentle waters that spring up instantly there, covered with lotuses, whose delicate fragrance fills the air. May the heaps of burning embers of fire become piles of precious jewels. And the red-hot glowing iron floor, the ground of a new world, sparkling in crystal light. May the mountains that slam together, crushing the crowds of helpless people between them, turn to the palace, temples of heaven, filled with bliss-filled Buddhas. And then may the beings in hell take pause and wonder suddenly to themselves, why now do the henchmen of the Lord of Death and his vicious ravens and birds of prey, why do they turn and run from us? What glorious power has turned the night of hell to golden day and smothered us within this happiness, this strength, this bliss? Who could have such power? And may they raise their eyes and see the blue of sky, and seated in it, the one who holds the diamond in their hand. And then may joy spread in their hearts so powerful that it tears away every wrong they ever did. And so then they can rise and fly away with them. May a rain of lovely flower petals mixed with cool and perfumed water descend in a song of and extinguish the flames of the fires that burn in hell. May the beings who live there look upon this sight and suddenly be overcome by happiness. And then may they think to themselves, who could have done this thing? And may they turn and see before them the one who holds the lotus in their hand. And by this power, may every being who lives in the animal realm be freed from the terror of feeding off each other. May those who live as craving spirits enjoy a life of peace and plenty, like humans of the Isle of Haunting Voice. And by this power, may the blind open their eyes and see beauty. May the deaf hear the song of sound. May every woman with child give birth as Maya, the Buddha's angel mother, did him, without a hint of pain. May those without sufficient clothing be suddenly clothed. May the hungry be instantly filled with food. And may those who suffer now from thirst drink fine, fresh water. and other delicious beverages. And one last verse, not the last. May every poor person there is find all the money they need. May those who grieve be comforted. May those who've lost hope find hope anew and security that will never leave them. And so I have shared with you. Let's see, I would like to put it in the chat for you as well. There we go. And hopefully there are some translations around. It's taking a moment to upload. In both Spanish and at least Russian, maybe Ukrainian, I don't know. Maybe German, that can be found. And so that all of you have it. It's not uploading yet, so I'll have to give it some minutes. So thank you so much for sharing all of the ways that you're using these teachings. It's so inspiring. It inspires me, and I hope it inspires everybody else here as well. I found it really so rich. We each have different experiences in our lives, and how we use it and share it is so important. Before I finish, would everyone who is translating please raise their hands? Thank you, all of you translators. Thank you so much. This is how we keep our world family going. Without each of you, we couldn't do this. So I just want to honor you and thank you. And please please keep translating for us. We need you very much. Thank you. You can see how everybody is so grateful to you. And then all of those who are part of the ACI staff, who are recording, administrating, sending out notices, making this Zoom call work, would you also please raise your hands, and if possible, even show us your faces, like you, Gina, if you're there, not just on remote control, and Anna. Thank you so much. Because again, we could not do this without you. It takes a big family to do this. And I am so very grateful to have all of you helping with it. Thank you so much. Please stay, please stay, please stay. Because there's no way I could teach or reach out across the world without you. And because of you, this world is smaller and brighter. So thank you. And that's all I got.
We have something from the group. Is it a good time? Okay. So Andrew wrote a beautiful poem. It's also dedicated to you on behalf of our group. And on behalf of our group, we have beautiful flowers. It's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's touch of kind of like mustard yellow colors. Maybe they don't show the Dharma colors. Like I wear the scarf and the curtains behind me. That's the Dharma colors. It's from us. We also have something we're collecting for you right now. And we're gonna send a little bit later. But with those offering from each of us, every person in this class who is watching it now, who is watching this in recording, or whoever ever will be watching this in the future, we want to thank you for the most priceless gift you gave us, this wisdom. We want to thank you for your time that you always find that will never get back to you, but you give your time so tirelessly. We want to thank you for your love and for your compassion for all of us by giving such a difficult, profound wisdom in such a simple and such a loving and caring way. And we want to ask you to stay with us always.
I will.
Sorry, it's the joy, not the sadness. It's the joyful effort, Andrei.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I want to remind you that those of you who have finished the 18 courses, still planning to do the Baroque exam sometime in January, do let me know. I'm going to put my, why can't I type in the chat? There we go. Oops. Let's try that again. I'm typing my email address. Please send me an email letting me know if you want to do the Baroque. The Baroque is for those who have finished all 18 courses. And we'll have a good time. We'll have fun. It's a mini Geshe exam. Right? Oh, that's not right. Try this one. Forgot the D in there. You'll get somebody else if you just do Gyelse. And please dedicate all of your study, all of your hard work, all of putting these practices in your toolbox, which is getting bigger and heavier now. But really, it's creating the wings for you to fly, to take off and to fly. So don't forget to dedicate everything that you're doing. And to not have these teachings stop here, but to pass them on to the next generation. For you to be a teacher, for other students who are coming up, and for the world. It has been a pleasure to be here with you. And I know it's not the last time. Thank you. No prostrations at the end. Because that, if we don't do prostrations, it means we have unfinished business. We get together again. I don't know if some of you are coming to Diamond Mountain for the Medicine Buddha and Arya Nagarjuna retreat. But if so, I will see you there. And maybe some of you are also coming to Kyoto in December for the Lam Rim in Kyoto, and hopefully I will see you there as well. So, see you next time.
Thank you.
Be well, take care. Thank you, David, for initiating all this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please stay, please stay, please stay, and please teach us again.
Thank you, Christina. Mazal, as Geshe-la would say. I will. I do. Yeah. Yeah, we've got more to do, don't we?